Islamification of Western civilization. This is happening all over the planet. And it happens simultaneously, especially under the Obama administration, where all of Europe, America, Canada's been doing it for a long time, Germany, all of these places flooded with third world low IQ invaders at the same time. So what? Did all these leaders get together and say, yeah, let's do this, let's do that? Let's destabilize the white Christian Western civilization that built society of what it is today. Here's a Muslim preacher in Britain. This is Muhammad Hajab. He's one of the imams, right? If you haven't recognized him or seen him before, he admits openly that Islam is at war against white Christian men, women, and children in the UK. And believe in me when I tell you, this is happening in the United States as well. We are under assault. He vows to deprive non-Muslims of basic human rights. Islam is a warrior religion. It's not about expansion and conquest. It's about they're going to take over. That's what they want to do. And here we go. We're diving right in today with all kinds of cray-cray.
Reason why.
Let's make sure we got it where it's supposed to be.
Reason why you have to fight them is because they are Jews and Christians. You should fight those empires around you, or those hukumat around you, which are Jew or Christian, until they give the jizya. That's fine. That we already know.
Do y'all know what the jizya is? It's a tax.
No, Islam allows, and then the howness of that is in the hadith. The three options that they're given: either you give the jizya, or you do this, or you do that. Yeah, we're not apologetic.
You give the jizya, and plus they're trying to subjugate us.
Think about that point. That is truth. If your religion has to have an expansionist element. So then therefore there is no situation or conceivability of peace being made between Muslims and non-Muslims. Islam is a warrior religion in many ways, and it's unapologetically so. It's about expansion, it's about conquest and so on.
Now legally, when Muslims live in places like Britain, for example, which feel legally we would classify Britain as Darul Harb, right? Which is, if you translate it, it's abode of war.
The kuffar from Dar al-Harb, there can never be a permanent treaty with the kuffar because it cancels out jihad. It can't be forever. When Muslims get stronger and it's a benefit for the Muslims, they inform the enemy, this treaty has come to an end.
Wow.
Reason why those hukumat.
There you have it. So, Islam, are you still thinking Islam is a religion of peace? It's a religion of conquest. Islam is a warrior religion. It's about expansion and it's about conquest. And it's been that way since day one, since they started this. Why do you think we had the Crusades? We had to stop them. We had to stop them. You know, when you have all these school board meetings and different meetings, you see like maybe a dad standing up and trying to read a book that was sexually explicit that was put in the library for the kids. And then they're all like, oh, your time's expired, or we're cutting your time, or you can't talk, or blah, blah, blah. Well, attendees at a Whaley ISD board meeting in Texas outraged after the board allowed a Muslim woman to go over time while shutting down other speakers. Sounds familiar to me. This comes after parents learned that a pro-Islamic group set up on school grounds without district approval. Now, I did a video, I think last week, covering where they come in during the lunch at a high school, set up stuff, and was handing out hijabs to girls and handing out free Qurans. It's insane. It's insane that we're allowing this to happen.
Time's up. Let's go. Cut your heads off. You need to go Quran. Come on. Of all Christians, or the death of all Christians. It's a disgusting.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's what they want. They want death to all Christians and Jews. That's what they want. Why does Islam have a problem with dogs? Oh, all the dog business. Because Islam's coming to New York. Well, Islam's already in New York. They're just going to slowly pass these laws and then complain about the dogs. They're going to probably start making some dog ordinance and slowly implement to where, you can't even take your pet out. Let's stop pretending this is a culture. The hostility towards dogs comes directly from Islamic texts. Muhammad is portrayed as disliking dogs while showing affection towards cats. The result, a body of the hadith literature that repeatedly demeans dogs and treats them as spiritually problematic creatures. Here are the texts. Angels refuse to enter a house with a dog. This is retarded. You're going to tell me an angelic being is going to come to the door of your house and go, oh, and he's got another angel with him. We can't go in there, man. They got a chihuahua. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Angels do not enter a house that has either a dog or a cat in a picture. Sharia al-Bukhari. Sahira. I think you say Sahira al-Bukhari. Angels do not enter a house that has either a dog or a picture in it. You can't even have a picture of a dog? So if you own a dog, divine beings stay away? Dogs cut off your prayers. You can't make this stuff up, people. A woman, a donkey, and a dog cut off the prayer. Sahiyya Muslims. Now, yeah, when, let's say, one of them retards are praying with their butt up in the air facing Mecca, and then a dog or a woman walks by, all of a sudden, Allah didn't hear their prayers. What? Your God is retarded. Notice the grouping, women, donkeys, and dogs, all places in the same category as obstacles to worship. Yeah, they treat women like less than dogs. Like less than dogs. Muhammad ordered dogs to be killed. Imam Umar reported that, did they have her, Iba Omar, I don't know who that is. Amar reported that Messenger of Allah commanded the killings of dogs, Sahara Muslims. Sahiyya? Sahiyya? Am I saying that right? I don't even care. This was not metaphorical. It was ordered. Black dogs specifically were targeted. What are you doing? My cat is up to no good always. Always. Why black dogs? Because they are racist. Do you know it's a penalty of death to call Muhammad or another Muslim black? Yep. Go look it up. Go look it up. Were dogs not a species among creatures, I would command that they all be killed, but kill every pure black one. Sudni Abdul Dawa. Why the black ones? Because black dogs are called devils. The black dog is a devil. Saudi Muslim. Not symbolic, not poetic, a devil. Only useful dogs allowed. The Prophet ordered dogs to be killed except hunting dogs, sheep dogs, and guard dogs. Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. In other words, dogs are tolerated only if they serve a function. As companions, nope. Dogs are widely considered virtually impure in Islamic law. Their saliva is treated as contaminated. Entire purification rules revolve around contact with them. They are retarded. So when someone says Islam doesn't hate dogs, the text says otherwise. Muslims who keep dogs today either ignore these narrations, reinterpret them beyond recognition, or simply do not know what their own sources say. And I think it's a little bit of both, or a little bit of all of it. The issue isn't culture, it's scriptural. Do y'all hear my cat? See, once I get settled, then she wants out of the room. Here's a painting somebody had posted. It's probably AI generated, but look, you have an angel. What is the angel at the door? What is happening? Oh my goodness. So the angel's like, what? We can't come in there now? It's ridiculous. Female Islamic scholar. She's a scholar. She's done her research. Owning a dog causes you to lose blessings and keeps angels away from your home. Whoever owns a dog is in debt to Allah and will be punished. So think twice. They really hate dogs, don't they?
Home without any valid reason causes you to lose huge amounts of rewards daily.
Wait a second. My goodness, did she gloss up them lips? Like, what is happening?
Do you know that having dogs in your home without any valid reason causes you to lose huge amounts of rewards daily and also keeps angels away from your home? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warns us about this in an authentic hadith, saying, whoever keeps a dog, except for herding, hunting, or farming, will have 2 qirats of good deeds deducted every day.
2 deeds deducted. We're on a scale here. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that Christians, Jesus came, virgin birth, preached the gospel, was crucified, rose again to save us from our sins. You believe in him, and you believe that, you will have eternal life. It's not your deeds. It's not how good of a person you are, and how many check marks you're going to get and happy faces you're going to get on the calendar each day of your life. No. It's believing in the scripture, believing in him, and he said he is the truth, the light, the way, and only way to get to the Father is through Jesus Christ. That's it. And these morons, these retards, these third world low IQ, been marrying their cousins for 1,400 years. Believe this. Angels can't go in your house. Angels can't go in your house because you got a dog or a picture of a dog. It's completely deranged and delusional.
And it is said that a qirat is equivalent to a huge mountain. So if you're losing 2 qirats, that means you're losing 2 mountains daily. And it gets worse. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also said that no angel will enter a home with a dog inside. Imagine your home where you pray, make dua, and seek blessings. Angels stay away from because of a dog. Islam teaches us to be kind to animals, but also follow guidance. So if you or anybody that you know owns a dog without any valid reason, think twice. Share this so others can learn.
Yeah, I'm going to share it so others can learn how retarded you are. Check this out. Some hadiths contain derogatory references like comparing Ethiopians to raisin heads. Sahih Bukhari, 111-662. I don't know how to read their Quran, whether that's chapter and all of that good stuff. Or stating, Satan appears as a black man. Sahih Muslim, 235007. Wow. Now, this is a specific claims from Khadib al-Shafab by Kadeh. I can't even say these names. I guess it's an old manuscript. Malachi scholar. Anyone who says that the prophet was black should be killed. This says this isn't about calling any Muslim black, but falsely describing the prophet Muhammad as black, which was seen as disproportionate or blasphemy, and giving descriptions of him as fair-skinned. Sahih Bakari. It's tied to a broader blasphemy laws undone for insulting the prophet. They're saying this isn't racist. So if I said Muhammad's black, they're gonna want me dead. That's pretty racist to me. Why would you consider that blasphemous and insulting if you're not racist? Here we go. Here we go. Gavin Newsom, to everyone across the nation observing the holy month of Ramadan, California wishes you a blessed time of peace, strength, and prosperity. Good Lord. And that's what he goes on to say with him and his retarded wife. But listen to these replies. Look at these replies. I fled the Islamic Sharia oppression to seek refuge in a free Christian nation. Now the governor of my state openly embraces the culture that promotes hatred, slavery, pedo, and savagery in its holy book and way of life. It's insane. This person wrote to Gavin Newsom, and there's a picture of Newsom being punched in the face. No acknowledgement of Christ, Lent, Catholic Church, but a Muslim celebration? Newsom, you are a genuine piece of excrement, pandering to people who preach nothing but hate for non-Muslims. It's incredible. Peace in Islam? That would be funny if it wasn't so absurd.
بعدين يا جماعه بعض العرايس العصايه ديت عشان نضرب عشان بس ما ينفعش احط ايدي على جسمها فباخد العصايه لا اله الا الله.
Oh, that goes on for 2.5 minutes, but probably longer. Who knows how long they were torturing that woman? But this is how Islam treats their women. Like they compared them, like we just read a minute ago, to dogs. Women and dogs can hear from Allah, hearing your prayers. Tell all your friends, just go eat more bacon. That's what I'm talking about. We are under assault from Islam, third world, low IQ invaders wanting to push their ideology on a Christian nation that has made the world what it is today. Wanting to just breed us out, I guess. But now our schools are under assault as well. And I came across this today, and I was like, what? And I had to go to Grok. I'm like, this can't be true. This is a school with a mural of Moloch, a satanic demon, from Jenkins Middle School in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Now, that's the same school we talked about in yesterday's show. This mural was painted by children with guidance from a teacher and approval from the administration. Moloch is the demon of child sacrifice. Jenkins Middle School was and still is under the control of Angelic Infinite Green, who was tasked with improving academic outcomes in Rhode Island. When parents complained, the mural was painted over. But it's still there under a coat of white paint, an image of child sacrifice. And this is it. Let me move. This right here was the mural that was painted in a school. All right, so I went to see, because, sometimes you get these posts, it's like, what? There's no way a school and a teacher and the administration allowed this, but it happened. Did anybody else know about this? The post features images of a student-painted mural at Jenkins Middle School in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, depicting a horn-enthralled figure with a childlike attendance, which the author identifies as Moloch, an ancient Canaanite deity associated with child sacrifice in biblical texts like Leviticus 18:21. It was Moloch, guys. That was Moloch. Painted under teacher guidance and administration. Approval during Angelica Infinity Green's oversight of Rhode Island schools. The mural was covered after parental complaints, but remains symbolically intact, promoting the author's renewed warning about hidden educational influences. Wow. Look at this in users. A lot of the people commenting are saying homeschool your kids. You know, it's just insanity. The ideology that they're pumping into our children. So I asked it a couple of questions. I said, Grok, what do you mean? Whatever do you mean that it stays symbolically intact? Because I was like, what is Grok talking about? The phrase remains symbolically intact refers to the idea that even though the mural was physically covered, painted over, or concealed, following parental complaints, its underlying symbolism and potential influence persists in a non-literal sense. According to the post, the depiction of the figure identified as Moloch, linked to themes of child sacrifice in ancient texts, was created and approved within the school environment, suggesting deeper cultural ideological implications that aren't fully erased just by hiding the artwork. The author uses this to highlight ongoing concerns about subtle and hidden influences in education, implying the morals, message, and intent lingers symbolically despite the cover-up. The lingering effects of despite the cover-up. It's very disturbing. We all know the Democrat, the far left, is nothing but the party of death. All they want is you to abort your kid. And if you end up having your kid, they want to indoctrinate them, and then they want to mutilate them. And pump them up with hormones and drugs they don't need to be taking. Take a look at this picture. What are they doing? I can't imagine. You painted this with the kids? I'm disgusted. New York hospital permanently axes transgender treatment program for kids following Trump's threat to yank funding. Let's just hope that continues. But a lot of these schools have been sneaking around, still teaching DEI and still doing this kind of stuff and doing all kinds of cray-cray. Jennifer Welch is white, by the way. Attacks Rubio while claiming brown-skinned MAGA supporters are white nationalists in a bizarre rant. This woman is retarded. She's part of she has a stupid podcast. Let's see. Jennifer Welch of I've Had It podcast raged at Secretary of State Marco Rubio's speech in Europe, arguing on Tuesday that MAGA is essentially a multiracial coalition united under white nationalism. So I don't know if y'all watched my yesterday's show, but Matt Walsh says, hey, if I came out and said, we need to leave these tribal people alone and whatever he said about, they need to keep their culture. And everybody be like, yeah, man, they do. They should keep their culture. Leave them alone. But if he says, hey, a little town in America, pick any state, any city, little town in America, that we need to preserve its culture, all of a sudden you're a racist. So white people I keep saying it, we are under assault globally. So we can't say, oh, well, we want to keep our heritage too. Nope, that's racist. And that's basically what Rubio was saying to Europe. You're going to lose everything if y'all don't stop it. And I'm paraphrasing him, but that's what I got out of it. And I bet that's what she got out of it. And that's why she's saying this. Because he's saying you're going to lose your identity to third world low IQ invaders. Rubio went viral on the international stage for his Saturday's remarks before the Munich Security Conference, making the case that it is the best interest of America to have European allies who are proud of their own identities as part of a shared Western culture. And what is wrong with that? Nothing. But nope, the left wants to say that you are a racist. Oh, I get infuriated. We want allies who are proud of their culture and of their heritage, who understand that we are heirs to the same great and noble civilization, he said. Who built these great noble civilizations? It was white Christians. Stop it. And that's not racist, that's fact. It's fact. Welch argued on her podcast, good Lord. Here's what's so interesting about the MAGA regime to me is that they're all white nationalists, even the brown-skinned ones, even the Latinos. Here's Marco Rubio at the Munich conference going for full white nationalism, and I just want to remind you, viewers, he's Cuban. Exactly! Thank you, because we are not retarded. We know he's Cuban. And guess what? He identifies with the heritage of America and what American white people heritage made the world great. With technology, with innovation, with growing a nation. Black people understand this. Latinos understand this. Blacks who've lived in this country, Latinos have lived in this country, love this country, and want to be a part of its heritage. Respect it. Because they fled. A lot of people flee socialism, communism countries to come here. Like we just read that guy earlier said he fled an Islamic state. He fled and he comes to California. And what does he see the governor of California doing? Praising Ramadan. He's like, my God. Islam is an occult. It's not a religion. Good Lord. You want to remind people that he's Cuban? What, is everybody retarded? Duh. They then played a clip of Rubio speaking to Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban at a joint press event saying, it is the kind of thing that I think, for example, I can say to you with confidence that President Trump is deeply committed to your success because your success is our success. Because this relationship we have here is Central European through you as so essential and vital for our national interest in the years to come. Of course, and there's the wicked witch of the West. Look at her. What is wrong with her? She's left-wing ideologue. She has obviously she has an agenda. She has an agenda. And I tell you what, we have to do something about Europe. We cannot let those third world low IQ invaders, mostly Muslims, their religion is Islam, and they'll have, and if they cannot get access to nukes, no way, we can't allow it. We can't allow it. It'll be the end of our own demise. But she's an idiot and a retard and not thinking of that. Like, this is dangerous. It's as dangerous as letting all the DEI people coming in. Look at the sewage break. I've got a clip of that here coming up. The sewage that's flowing into the Potomac. Because of what? DEI hires over decades of people that have no business running a city, fixing the infrastructure because they're all corrupt. Generally, the low IQ, it's nothing but thieves. That's all they know. Look at the Somalians. Look how much they've stole. Welch then went on to argue that while various small European countries have a deep sense of culture and makes the United States cool, is the multicultural setting. She then pivoted to I can't even read and talk. Slamming white Americans concerned about their culture's decline as hypocrisy, saying they all depend on multiculturalism for entertainment. What? No, we don't. In fact, you could probably go look at stats. I don't know, man. People stopped watching movies. You guys have been losing so much money. Don't tell me that because we want multiculturalism in movies. I've said in the past, I'm all about Blade. Wesley Snipes was Blade. Don't make another Blade and make him white. I'm serious. Don't make Little Mermaid and the original one is white and then you make another one and she's black. Stop it. You're going to make Snow White, her skin as white as snow, and you're going to make her brown. It's retarded. People aren't going to accept it. Putting trans people in these movies, making women like they're the hero of the story, it doesn't work because it's not realistic. Stop it. People need to be where they need to be in any kind of movie or TV show or whatever it is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Concerned about their culture's decline, his hypocrisy. Why? So we can't, white people, she's white, by the way, too. So she's the one that has the hypocrisy. It's like, what is happening here? I'm trying to grasp this in my own head. Like, you want us to be our demise. Do you know the white people make up less of the population as a combined on the planet? We make up less of the population. But yet, but whites make up more of the higher IQ that are innovative. And has saved the world from evil time and time again. But no, we can't hold on to our heritage, our culture, because we're racist. We just have to step aside, kowtow, put our head in the sand, and say, okay, just let the third world take over, right? And then we'll look like Bangladesh. So then it leads me to this, and she said, are you the type of citizen that sees your fellow Americans, whether they're from India, they're from Cuba, or they're from Pakistan, wherever? Do you see them as your fellow citizens, or do you see them as less than? No. What I do see, if I see somebody from Pakistan that comes here and loves America and goes with the flow, man, you assimilate into America. You know, it used to be once upon a time, they didn't just let you be a citizen. I forgot what date that all changed. I should have researched that. But hey, you had to assimilate. You had to take tests. You had to learn history. You got to speak the language. You got to prove you're just not going to be a burden on society. So what are we seeing now? We're seeing all those Somalians, 85% of them are on some kind of federal assistance and have been for over a decade. The numbers haven't changed. They need to go. So no, it's not, I'm seeing them as less than, I'm seeing them as a drain on society. As a drain on the Americans, as a drain on the indigenous. If we want to get right down to it, who are the indigenous? We are. We are. For over a couple of 100 years, we've been here. We built this great nation. Americans did. We cannot save the world from their disturbed governments. Now, can we go in and save in different situations? Sure, we could go in and do things, and we have. They send in missionaries, all of this stuff for decades to all these places in Africa. For decades. Decades. Feeding the hungry. Helping them try to build infrastructure. And then when we leave, it goes to crap because they can't keep up with it. Look, it's in their DNA. You can't change IQ. You can't. Just like when they took the tests out. For you to get into government, you had to take a test. Remember, back in the 70s? And the whites were outscoring the blacks. So they're like, oh, that's racist. We got to change the test. They changed it like 13 times. Guess what? It doesn't change nothing. They still couldn't pass it. Whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault. It's just is what it is. Now, we could take people on individual bases if you want to do that as far as IQ. Yeah, you could pick a black person out and they could have they're geniuses, man. You could find a white person who is just at 75 IQ. Yes. But we're talking average IQs of whites on the planet is 100 and up. Average IQ Of all that continent, it's always the same mat, Middle Eastern. It's like 80 and down. Now there are individual exceptions. Yes. Yes, duh. So no, that's not being racist. How can you be racist when things are facts? When things are facts, it's not racist. It just is. There's always going to be somebody stronger, bigger, faster, smarter. That's the way it is. That is the way it is. All right, here's my guy, Andrew Branca. Rupert Lowe launches Restore Britain and embraces mass deportation as political leadership. So he wants to make Britain again. Oh, no, but they're going to say he's racist.
The far right lines up behind Rupert Lowe in challenge to reform. The far right, of course, means Britons who want British to be for the British. That's what the far right is now. The British who do not want to see their British culture drowned in a tsunami of non-Christian, non-white, low IQ, high fraud, third world invaders, colonizers, losers, pirates. The far right. You think being called the far right is going to stop Rupert Lowe? You think it's going to stop his party? You think it's going to inhibit his supporters, the members of that party, the voters, the British? I think those days of intimidation are over. Over. And of course, what we would call restore UK in America is MAGA. What Trump has done for us, Rupert Lowe has launched in the UK. And I think he's able to launch it politically, societally, only because Trump took that first leap. That's what leadership is. This is a really funny video clip. And this is one of the reasons, before I even pull it up, the account is Restore Britain. The meme war is going to be overwhelmingly dominated by the first world defenders, because the good memes come from the clever people. Cleverness is a function of IQ. That's why we've all heard the expression, the left can't meme. The left claims to be smarter. It's demonstrably not true. Being funny requires intelligence, requires wit, requires IQ. That's why the left is so unfunny. You know, fully, it's been my observation that fully a third of the population simply has no sense of humor. I mean, they'll laugh at a joke if they see social cues, like other people are laughing. But if they're by themselves, they don't get those social cues. They can't tell when something's a joke. Oh. You've met these people, right? They take something, a funny remark you've made, they take it literally, like it's an academic thesis, and they certainly can't tell a joke. They wouldn't know how to begin to be funny. A third of the population's like that, and they're mostly on the left. That's where this stereotype of the Karen comes from.
The
right?
Karen.
Humorless, mean, bitter. That's the left. That's not the right. The right's funny. The right is funny. And we're going to win the meme war. And we have a battleground on which to win the meme war because Elon Musk bought X. So we can meme to our heart's content on X and advance our cause. So, sorry, with all that context, ran on a little bit there. Deportation Park. It's so good. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here. Deportation Park. An adventure. 2 million illegal immigrants in the making. There's Rupert Lowe.
You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Welcome to Deportation Park.
They're moving parents. They do move parents.
Oh, we got to see the rest of that. I got to find it. Hopefully I can. Here we have the DC water manager. And look at this. This is what DEI looks like when it's in water management. DC Waters Management David Gaddis. We had too many white men in charge. The executives should reflect the city. Really? DC just had the largest sewage spill in U.S. history. 240 million gallons in 1 month, flooding the Potomac. You know, Rush Limbaugh warned about this years ago. He warned about it years ago. Because we already started seeing some signs where who was that guy? Who was caught smoking crack with some prostitutes in a hotel room in Atlanta, Georgia? I think he was the mayor. Gosh, what was his name? I know I'm old. Yep. But he was a DEI hire. He was a DEI hire, and we've been seeing it time and time again. And D.C. was a crap hole until Trump said, hey, we're sending in the militia. And they cleaned it up. In fact, I heard him say, we didn't even tell them they had to pick up trash. Those guys, the militia soldiers, were picking up trash, cleaning off paint stuff, got the illegals out of there. I mean, crime shot way down. They cleaned that city up. But they didn't clean it up enough because it's filled with a swamp people with DEI hires. Guys, we better stop doing this. This is going to be the end of us. The end of us. Listen to what this moron says.
You know, when I arrived at DC Water, this was an organization that looked very similar to our industry. It was predominantly, you know, white male at the top, but this was a utility that's, you know, more than 70% people of color work at this utility. And I really believe, and I still believe, and it has been fantastic. The outcomes have been fantastic. But the people at the top, the executives, the chiefs in that C-suite, they should look like the employees that they serve and that they work with.
Why?
And the same thing with the community. And so my executive team, you know, looks exactly like the community. It looks like the employees, the staff, you know, be it people of color, women, men, and it's just a fantastic team that has come together to do a lot of great things here at DC Water and in the community for the customers. You know, when I arrived at DC,
wow, a lot of great things, and look what happened under your management, under your leadership. Now, I wouldn't say that, you know, they could have hired some black people, but they needed to be able to take a test. Yeah, I said it. Test them. They got to know infrastructure, how to fix stuff, whatever position they're in. Even these people in these high positions, obviously they don't know how to take care of infrastructure or manage money. Good Lord. Somebody posted this. DC Water CEO oversaw $220 million in DEI contracts. And the biggest sewage bill in U.S. history. So not only does our department need to reflect the people. What, there was no white people in D.C.? I'm just asking questions here. Was there no Hispanic people in D.C.? Was there no Asian people in D.C.? Is it predominantly black in D.C.? So we have to reflect our leadership? So what, you went and hired DEI companies? Or people? Or persons? Or your friends? To go and fix stuff? And this is the result? Tell me. I don't know. I'm just asking questions here. Good Lord. The chair of DC Water Board isn't even an engineer or a planner. Dr. Unique N. Morris Hughes is a DEI bureaucrat nonprofit. All color folk out there, no matter what color you are, do you want your airplanes? Do you want, when they hire people to work, to fly airplanes, big commercial ones now, and also do the air traffic controller? Do you want them to be DEI hired because they're not diversified enough? They don't have enough people of color? You tell me. Would you want the person who came in and made like 120 on the test? Just aced it. Aced the simulation, everything. Of a high standard test. Opposed to hiring the person who got a 90. You tell me. Which one do you want flying the plane? And don't go, oh, Rochelle, but you can't compare that to somebody working at the water plant. Well, yeah, you need somebody who's an engineer. Hell, I couldn't do that job. Are you kidding me? The best job I could get probably is I'll clean up your office. Because I'm not an engineer. Or I could go help dig a hole. I could be a laborer, but not managing, and because I know nothing about engineering. You need smart people doing these types of jobs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I tell you what, guys, we keep up with how the school system's going. Like I told you in my show yesterday, Gen Z is the first generation to not excel beyond what their predecessors did. They're stupid. They're retarded. It's a fact. They are dumb. They are dumber than the previous generation. We need to be afraid. Who's going to run things? We have to have smart people. We just do. All right, switching to school, stupid, retarded stuff. A Maryland high schooler tells his school board his Turning Point USA linked club is being accused of grooming children. Of course they are. Oh no! But remember the article we showed earlier? Oh, they'll let Muslims come in and give out Qurans and hijabs to girls to cover them up. God forbid they let a Christian come in and pass out pamphlets and tell them about Jesus. Good Lord. Oh no, but TPSA, they're just grooming children? What do you think they've been doing? Painting murals on the wall of a demon god to sacrifice children. Oh, jeez. Luke Grover, a student at Calvert County Public Schools, is the president of a local club chapter, American chapter. Club American groups are designed to help high schoolers build real-world skills, challenge the narrative, and lead with purpose, according to TBS USA. God bless them! Yes! Because the left leads them off a cliff. Grover told the Calvert County Board of Education on Thursday his group, unaffiliated with the school's district, has received hate and insinuations of violence along with grooming allegations. I wonder who's insinuating all of that. Our first meeting was in November, and we wrote letters for veterans. We're not causing any harm, he said. And let's hear what he has to say.
I'm Luke Grover. I'm a student in Calvert County Public Schools, and I'm also the president of our Calvert County Club America, which is affiliated with Turning Point USA chapter. It is not affiliated with the Calvert County Public Schools and is completely separate. We are a 501c3 nonprofit group, which is not politically involved in a partisan manner. We cannot endorse or support any candidates or parties. We had a meeting in December in which Ms. Post and Ms. Goshorn attended because we invited them so we could have a Q&A, productive discussion about the board, what they do, and what their policies are. And our group had all students that were there were in attendance with parental permission, so it was all above board, it was all publicly advertised. However, we received a lot of hate online and insinuations of violence towards our group and our students before our meeting. So we posted something online about how we would not be allowing any adults that we did not know that were not our volunteers or our parents. However, a lot of hate has been directed towards us since then, and we have been accused of many things. We've been accused of grooming children. We've been accused of so many things, and misinformation has been spread about our group, including an allegation that a random unnamed man was the president of our group and had certain felony charges. I'm the president of our group. I'm 17. I'm a minor. I can't groom children because I am a child. I don't have any felony charges or convictions. After all of this misinformation, we have had certain elevated cases against our group, and I would be absolutely happy to discuss anything that our group is doing with any concerned individuals because we're not doing anything wrong. Our first meeting was in November, and we wrote letters for veterans and had productive discussions about how we can support our veteran community. In our meeting with Ms. Post and Ms. Goshorn, we discussed policies such as if we can have teachers assigning things due at midnight. We are not up for any problems. We're not causing any harm. And my contact information is publicly available as I'm a filed candidate. If you can reach out to me with any problems you have if you are in the community and concerned about our group. I'm Luke.
The left wants to go after anything that's wholesome and good and destroy it. And destroy it. And this kid was so well spoken. I bet his parents are proud. That's because you know why they're getting hate? Because TPUSA, they're Christian. They're Christian conservatives. So all of a sudden Christian conservatives are just all pedos? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. I had a feeling more of this was going to keep coming out and coming out and coming out. She says 411 days until my doctors are held accountable for what they did to me. Chloe, a 21-year-old detransitioner, announces her medical malpractice lawsuit against Kaiser Permanente advances to trial on April 5th, 2027, marking a key step in holding providers accountable for her treatments from ages 13 to 15. Cole alleges doctors, administered puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and double mastectomy without proper informed consent, causing permanent physical and psychological damage, as detailed in her suit filed by Dillon Law Group. My God. We've been screaming it. I've been screaming it to the rooftop. And these doctors, these psychiatrists, these teachers, these counselors, even some retarded parents, they all know this. When you're 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, you're stupid. You're going to be different. And here she is. My God, what have they done to me? The timing coincides with a February 2026 $2 million jury award in a similar detransitioning case, while peer-reviewed studies report youth gender care regret rates 0.3% to 15%. Let's see. Let me move this up for you. Highlighting risks like bone density loss from blockers and long-term follow-ups. Wow. Wow. So now you're telling us, oh, before weren't they saying, well, oh, there's no evidence it's going to do anything, but now it's saying it's going to do something to your bones? And obviously we're seeing it's doing something to these men. These men have gone on these shooting sprees. These men who pretend to be women. And guys, and a lot of them are on female hormones. So I heard Branca talking about it last night. He's like, so, women, each month they go through stuff and their hormones and they kind of have an emotional ride or whatever. Right? It's facts. It's facts. This is women. So here you have a man that's already unstable. And you're going to treat him, he goes to his doctor and he says, yeah, I feel like a woman on the inside. So you're going to treat him with female hormones? He probably just needed some more testosterone. Nope, they give him that, and guess what? It made him even more crazy. It made him more crazy. So I guess more research is going to come out. We're probably going to see that. His daughter, he's got a surviving daughter. She should sue. Why'd you give him these drugs? It made him crazy. Now, maybe we might see that. I don't know. We're going to have some evidence, but I think there's been a lot of evidence already out that these men, how many of these men have gone out, dressed like a woman, and killed a bunch of people? How many of those were on female hormones, and how long were they on the hormones? Think about that. Maybe they should get sued. You need to stop giving these people. Somebody comes in your office, a guy says he thinks he's a guy. Give him some testosterone. This is who the psycho community, now this guy wrote trans community, but I'm going to say psycho community, believe should be allowed to use women's spaces. Look at this person. Good Lord. It looks like he's had some kind of implants in the cheeks here. What is happening here? Is this even real? Is this real? Watch this guy's face. That guy was like, I'm not looking up. I'm not looking up. I'm not looking up. I just checked Grok. This wasn't AI, man. This is real. This is real. This is scary. This is demonic. This is disturbing. Are you kidding me? Wow. This guy's like, my God. They're in McDonald's. I guess you're going to see crazy people in McDonald's. Look at this black guy's face. He's like, what? What is this? They should be locked up. I think from now on, you know what people are going to think? I don't know if we're going to get there yet, because there's been, maybe we're already there. I'm already thinking it. You go into somewhere and somebody like that comes walking in, you're going to think they're going to whip out a gun and start spraying? Because they hate people? They hate families? Because they're evil, they're demented, they're disturbed? You tell me. Are we going to get there? Are we going to get at that place? You don't want them around. You pick up your kid and get the hightail it out of there. Oh my God. Oh my God. He read a book on what positions would allow him to get pregnant. And I did say him. I did say him. I said him. I said him. What would allow him? He can't be that retarded. Did he just say this just to say it? I don't understand what's happening. Gay man tries to get pregnant.
You also did try to have a baby regularly, didn't you?
I mean, it's exhausting. I mean, I read every book. They're like, do this position, it'll be a girl. Do this position, it'll be a boy. Like overnight, all night, like literally every night.
Banging chicks? You're just banging a girl?
No, I was having sex with my husband, and
then
finally, I sought medical attention because I was like, there's something fundamentally wrong. Like we just can't get pregnant, and so.
Wait, time out. You were trying different positions with your husband, Nathan. Very nice guy. Like Nathan a lot. Salt of the earth guy. Met him really down to earth. But you're doing positions that you're reading in books for heterosexual sex, and you're smart.
Well, I didn't specify that in the book, but the doctor explained to me that you needed to have a female involved to actually conceive the baby. And so at that point, I just called my sister, and it was really easy after that.
You also.
Oh my God. Wow. Do y'all think he just did that just to... why would you make yourself look retarded? I'm just asking questions here. And what's wrong with his sister? You called his sister? And she assisted you in this? And I saw a video several months ago of him and his partner. They have a child. They have a child. That should not be allowed. Somebody wrote in the comment section, I did not need to see this information. We're going to need a bigger institution. We really are. We really are, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Democrat Pamela Japal announces her Trans Bill of Rights, which would allow men to invade women's sports and restrooms, pushes for the gentle mutilation of children, and confides abortion nationwide. Codifies, my bad. She then says that those who oppose radical transgenderism are just jealous of trans people. We got clinics. We got New York clinic saying, no, we're not doing transgender anymore on surgeries on children. You got Trump going, no more DEI. No more trans in bathrooms. No more pushing this ideology. And this is just a clown show. They doubling down, man. The fight is never over with these people.
To trans people everywhere, I also want you to know this. Those people are threatened by your strength, by your joy in being fully who you are. Those who fight against trans people are just jealous of the freedom that they have taken to be fully who they are. And so those people just want to destroy that rather than imagine what it would be like to be fully who they are. Wise words from our young people. So today, the Trans Bill of Rights makes those freedoms we all deserve as clear as the paper they are written on. And we intend to continue this fight until we win this fight. To trans people everywhere.
The fight is to destroy America with them, with this ideology, Keep pumping these kids with hormones. Keep dumbing down the education. Keep painting murals of Baal on the wall. Till we're done. Keep aborting our children. Till we're overrun with third world low IQ invaders. We're gonna be run by invaders, low IQ invaders, and trans people. Good Lord. This game is literally called Zohan's New York City Crap Hole, which they're using HIT, playset. Let me get out of the way, because y'all got to get the full Monty.
Introducing Mayor Zoham's Communist City playset with fearless Mayor Zoham ready to share his book of rules. Build your own workers' paradise complete with real-looking trash piles and 8 homeless citizens.
Look, the flag really waves. And there's a secret stash of coins in the tower.
Mayor Zoham commands dictate the fun.
And everybody has to listen.
Introducing...
And everybody has to listen. Its own pile of trash and crap and his own homeless people. The hypocrisy of women explained in 40 seconds.
Ugh, that is such an unrealistic body standard.
Look at that. Half naked for everybody to gawk at. She should really cover up.
On display for male validation. That girl's got some internalized misogyny. Ugh, I hate men.
Wow, she's beautiful.
Talk about toxic.
She's not dressed like that for you.
She's doing it for herself.
This is why I hate men.
Oh, man. Was that dead on, guys? Newsom as Scarface in Lion King Part 2.
Where is the Democratic Party? They're not doing their job. The major cities aren't living in enough squalor.
What more can we do? We have the highest record of the homeless, and we even provide them drugs.
And we jacked up taxes, and the cost of living so high, people can't afford to eat. What more do you want from us?
Go make people hate King Trump more. Go poison the minds of the youth, the weak. Weaponize the trans. Make all the famous try to turn the nation against him. Go. Make America worse again.
Gavin, we need to talk.
Wow. That was insane. Insane. Warning alert. The CDC issues a warning concerning hair dye. Blue, pink, and purple. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is important.
Recent lab findings has the CDC warning liberal women to avoid pink and blue hair dye. We take you now to the CDC.
The dyes not only led to an increase in aggressive behavior, but the mice also developed unusual vocal capabilities.
Trump, Trump, patriarchy! Recent lab findings has the CDC warning liberal women to avoid pink and blue hair dye. We take you now to the CDC.
The dyes not only led to an increase in aggressive behavior, but the mice also developed unusual vocal capabilities.
Trump, Trump, patriarchy! Recent lab findings has the CDC warning...
Oh, man, that was great. That was great. Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's show. And then we're just always remember, the learning never stops. Make sure you like and share because there's not to like. And always remember, never be